Now, hundreds of flights were cancelled in China's Guangdong province and in Hong Kong as Super Typhoon Saola moved closer to the mainland, forcing authorities to raise a strong storm advisory. 3 tropical cyclones have formed in the northwest Pacific Ocean and the South China Sea, with Saola and Haikui, you can see there, already labelled typhoons. Another one called Kiroji is the most distant from land and is still classified as a tropical storm. With more on this, here's Sarah Keith-Lucas.
Hello. Well, yes, we have seen a very busy spell in the typhoon season over the past week or so, and we've got more to come. So Typhoon Saola is the one we're keeping an eye on at the moment. It's got a really well-defined eye to the system. So here's the satellite image you can see. This is Typhoon Saola here. You can see it rotating. It's a large typhoon, and it's moving its way just gradually close to the coast of the southwest of China, approaching Hong Kong at the moment. It's going to be probably the worst typhoon to impact Hong Kong in around about 5 years, and then following close on its heels, similar area will be the next typhoon, Haikui, which is just pushing in towards Taiwan at the moment. But let's take a look at the track of Typhoon Saola first, and over the next few days it's going to move its way close to the coast here of Hong Kong and Guangdong. There could be about 300 millimetres of rain falling over the mountainous areas there before it then curls back probably in towards the South China Sea, affecting Hainan and the Leizhou Peninsula as well. So let's take a look at the rainfall associated with this system. You can see the green colours here indicating the torrential rainfall. It's going to move very close to Hong Kong over the next 24 hours or so. But of course, not just the rain. These really strong winds coming in from an easterly direction, they're going to be pushing up the sea level across the region. So we could see coastal inundation as the sea rises by around about 3 metres compared to normal around the Hong Kong region, pushing off then gradually towards the southwest. But you can see already the next storm system lining up, and that's going to push its way across Taiwan and potentially make a second landfall around a similar area in southern China into next week as well. So it's that combination of the heavy rainfall, those strong winds, and also that potential coastal inundation that's going to mean some very severe weather right across the region, certainly over the next few days.
Thank you, Sarah. Let's go live to Hong Kong then, speak to our reporter Martin Yip. Martin, the authorities are really making some substantial preparations for this, aren't they?
Yes, indeed. They've been holding a press conference, and which you could say is a rare one yesterday before the arrival of the storm, emphasizing that everything will be ready in place. There will be extra policemen helping with the aftermath, as well as people standing by to evacuate people from low-lying areas in case these places got flooded. So the government is trying to give out a picture of taking no chance, because back in 2018 and 2017, there were 2 other major typhoons that wreaked havoc in Hong Kong. And pretty much ended up with the government in palm phases, facing so much criticism. And I can tell you now, at this very second, the Hong Kong Observatory, the meteorological agency here, has just raised the typhoon warning signal by 1 rank to number 9. That's the second highest. That means the typhoon is getting really close to Hong Kong. The observatory has said the eye of the typhoon is now just 50 kilometers away from Hong Kong, and it could get as close as 40 kilometers. That would bring all these potential hazards that you just heard from our weather colleagues, the tidal waves, those rainfalls. So they're taking no chance and telling people to stay safe, staying away from waterfronts and all other risky places.
Martin, will that new raise change any of the preparations that are being made?
It's mostly about about protocol thing, because this system has been in Hong Kong for decades. So when it reached number 9 last night, in the early hours of today, that already shut down most of the businesses, the stock market, schools, and most of the bus services. Now it would be the train service being scaled back from running a limited schedules across the whole network to only the covered sections, the underground sections. So that's a further shutdown of the city, you may say, but it's something that Hong Kong has been learned or pretty much get used to in the past decades when typhoons hit Hong Kong.
And is there any sense, Martin, of how long that will continue for? You know, how long people there in Hong Kong are going to be hunkering down as this passes by?
What we've learned from the observatory, what we've been told by the observatory in the forecast in the past few days, is mostly like this thing would continue all the way through tonight into Saturday, because even when it leaves the vicinity of Hong Kong, you still have the tail of it. You still have the other side of the storm crossing the territory. So it could still be a typhoon that would affect Hong Kong and cause Hong Kong to keep somehow some kind of lockdown all the way into Saturday, until we start to see it reaching the western side of Guangdong province, the southern China coast. And the observatory might consider, depending on all other elements that they would observe, on whether they could lower the signals at any point, and then people could resume their lives outdoors.
And just a final brief thought, Martin, you've been talking there about everything that the authorities are doing, and obviously people in Hong Kong, what they've experienced before. Are they quite stoic at a moment like this, or is there some nervousness about what's coming?
Definitely the nervousness this time, because like you said, this has been said to be possibly the strongest, or at least one of the 5 strongest typhoon to hit southern China. That's according to the Chinese Meteorological Agency, since 1949. So even in Hong Kong, there were a bit of panic buying in markets, in supermarkets on Thursday, and even today, when the storm is still pretty calm during around lunch hours here. That's already a number 8 signal, which means people should have stayed home, but it's not illegal for you to go out anyway. So there were people, at least in my neighborhood, I can see from my window, people kicking down to the nearby supermarket to get some food stock. There are even people jogging outside, but you do see empty shelves in the supermarket, which does tell you how panicked people are this time.
Martin, thank you. That's our reporter, Martin Yip, live in Hong Kong.